Well, greetings to each of you, and welcome to yet another episode of the Shakedown podcast about corrections, for corrections, and by corrections. I am your host, Aaron Dawson. Awesome to be with you again for another episode of this. I hope, guys, that you are enjoying and engaging with the topics and the things that we're discussing on this podcast. Let me encourage you, if you're enjoying it, tell somebody else about it. Point them to the website, theshakedown.org, or to YouTube. And when you get on YouTube, search the Shakedown podcast. And if you're just new, you're new to the podcast, let me encourage you. Yes, we've got some awesome things planned for the future and in store. But if you're just getting started, go back and check out the previous episodes. This is our second season, so excited to be able to be in season 2 and looking forward to continuing on as long as possible. But glad to have you with us. As you're watching this, if you've got thoughts, you've got questions, comments, whatever the case may be, you can hit us up, shakedown at jailtraining.org. Love to hear from you. And guys, as this will be the second episode in our series talking about sharpening our skills. And we talked about last time using plants as an illustration, to which I really admitted I am a novice when it comes to that. All my knowledge of plants is simply through research. It is not practical. But anyway, using plants as an illustration, talking about the importance of you and I taking responsibility for our growth. And as we talk about growth and gaining access to the information and the knowledge and the expertise that we need to soak up to help our growth, let me encourage you, go to jailtraining.org, NIJO's website, and you can check out the training opportunities that are available. They've got the online academy, Dakota, that you can take courses online at your leisure. You know, it's not a timed thing. It's not a scheduled thing. It's when you are available and you want to take it, you can soak up those courses, a pile of courses that are available, and they're constantly being updated, constantly being added to. You can jump on that. You have the JailCon conferences. JailCon West has already been completed, but if you want to attend JailCon South, that'll be in the south part of the state of Alabama in August 28th through 30th, and then JailCon Central will be in the state of Indiana, and that'll be October 24th to the 26th. Those are both awesome conferences where you can be exposed to some great information, some great instructors, and be able to sharpen those skills, gain some knowledge, and ask some questions. You interact with some folks that have been doing this a while, and maybe trade information or trade ideas. And another opportunity that NIJO provides is their Elite Academy. And the Elite Academy is designed for administration. It's designed for administrators to be able to sharpen their skills as far as leading, not just on a shift, but leading a facility, leading a staff, and being able to do so in a professional and a legal manner. The Class 4 of the Elite program is September 25th through the 29th. And so you can get all the information on the JailCon conferences and the Elite Academy. You can get that information on NIJO's website, jailtraining.org. But jumping into our episode today, I want to continue what we were talking about last week in talking about growth and the importance of us owning our own growth. And we began by using the illustration of plants and what it takes for plants to grow. And I kind of want to continue that thought process today. And one of the things I want to use to illustrate how you and I can grow is to consider that there are 6 factors that impact the growth rate of a plant. There are 6 factors. There's the temperature, there's the amount of light, there's the position that the plant is in and how that relates to resources and light. There's the amount of carbon dioxide available to the plant. There's the preparation within the plant to utilize chlorophyll, something that's very important to plant growth. And then there's the location and the amount of water that location provides to the plant. Well, I want to use those 6 factors that I just rattled off. I want to use those 6 factors to illustrate some things that you and I need to have, factors that you and I are going to have to make sure that we implement and that we have and that we nurture if we are going to grow, and we're going to grow at a rate that is beneficial, not just to us, to our shift, to our coworkers, and to our agency. And the first thing I mentioned is that first factor that deals with plant growth is the temperature. And I want to liken that to our passion. Are we passionate about growing? Are we passionate about learning? Are we passionate about being excellent, being the best? One of my favorite quotes, and I use it, it's a tagline on my emails. I use it in a lot of trainings that I do. It's a quote by Aristotle, and the quote says this: "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Excellence is not an act, but a habit. See, an act is singular. It's one time. Man, I was excellent this one time, and man, it was amazing. I was excellent this one time, and man, I accomplished this. I was excellent. No. Excellence is something that we practice. It's something that we're passionate about, and we insist, I am going to be excellent today and tomorrow and the day after that to the best of my ability. So how passionate are we about growing? Are we satisfied just being a mediocre employee? Are we satisfied just being a mediocre corrections officer? And your goal may not be, personally, your goal may not be to move up into supervision or to be an instructor or, to be an administrator. That may not be your goal. That may not be what drives you. And that's fine. That's fine. There's no problem with that. But that doesn't mean you don't need to have passion to continue to grow, to continue to become more and more excellent, and for you to be able to accomplish more and better things in your role within your agency. So, how's your passion? Is it waning? Is it not there? Are you lackadaisical? Are you apathetic? Well, that's something that we need to correct. That's something that you need to say, you know what? No, I'm not satisfied being that way. I'm going to be the best, whatever fill in the blank your role is. You're a booking officer. You're a floor officer. You're a classification officer. You're a commissary officer. You're a kitchen officer. Whatever the case may be, I am going to be the best at this. How's your passion? Second factor that affects plant growth is the amount of light that the plant receives. And I want to liken that to her attitude. How's her attitude? In my experience, and as a corrections officer and as a leader and as an administrator, it makes a huge difference the attitude with which every person has when they walk through that door. If they come in the door thinking, man, today or tonight's going to stink, man, it's going to be nothing but problems. We got nothing but inmates. We got people that don't care, and they're just a pain in the neck. They're a nuisance. They don't do anything but break rules, and I'm tired. I'm wore out. I'm sick of this nonsense, and this shift is going to stink. Well, guess what? You just took the role of a prophet. You're probably right. Your shift is going to stink because your attitude stinks. Now, I'm not saying we need to come in with rose-colored glasses and be like, oh, everything's going to be amazing. Everything's going to be fantastic. There's not going to be any problems at all, because that's foolish. We're dealing with people. We're corrections officers. We're dealing with inmates. In some cases, we're dealing with the worst of our society and our culture. And with that comes the likelihood and the risk that some messed up stuff's going to happen. But what is our attitude about what we're going to face? Is our attitude, you know what, it doesn't matter what they bring, me and my fellow officers, my supervisors, my administrators, we got this. We are going to win. I used to tell my officers when I was a shift supervisor, and that is an administrator. Here at this jail, we play a game called I Win. We are going to win 100% of the time. Now, they may get one over on us. They may gain a small victory, but you know what? At the end of the day, at the end of the shift, at the end of this, we are going to win. That has got to be our attitude. And because we're going to win, you know what? Whatever you got, bring it on. Bring it on. We got this. How's our attitude? So we talked about, first of all, our passion. Second of all, our attitude. Third factor. The third factor that affects plant growth and the rate of plant growth is its position and its ability to, where it's planted, and its ability, the access that it has to the resources. So let's talk about our position. What's our position? Our position physically. Where are we at in our agency? Where are we at in our career? Where are we at in the dynamics or the workings of this facility? What can I accomplish with what I have right here physically? What can I accomplish with where I'm at right here? You know what? If I'm responsible for, a housing unit or a pod or a dormitory, I'm responsible for this one location. Man, I can't sweat and I can't worry about what's going on across the hall or down the hall. I can't worry about what officer so-and-so is doing at their post. I can't worry about, man, what's going on back there, or what the last shift did or what the next shift is going to do. I can't sit here and sweat and worry about what the administration is going to do. I've got to focus on what I'm doing right here, right now in my position. So what's my physical position? Second part of that is, what's my psychological position? Am I psychologically prepared to do what it is that I need to do? Am I psychologically in a position where I can be at my best? Am I focused on what's going on? Am I focused on my goal? Am I focused on safety and security? Am I focused on care, custody, and control? Am I focused on that me and my fellow officers, we're going to do this and we're going to do it in the safest way possible, in a way that's legal, in a way that's not going to get us hung up? Where are we at psychologically? So our passion, our attitude, our position, and then fourthly, the fourth factor that affects plant growth is the amount of carbon dioxide available to the plant and what it can do, what it can make use of when it comes to the carbon dioxide that is available. It's interesting when we think about the resources that are available to us. We think about what it is that surrounds us. Last times we view things as either a hindrance or a help, and we kind of file those in those categories. Whatever happens, whatever situation, it gets filed in either the hindrance or the help. Question: when was the last time you thought about carbon dioxide? Yeah, me neither. Not much. We breathe it out constantly. Every breath, we're breathing out carbon dioxide. Every breath, we're breathing out carbon dioxide. We don't think about that. It's a byproduct, something that in our minds is an extra. It's something that's not necessary. It's not something we waste a lot of time thinking about. And it's not something that we utilize. We don't utilize to a large extent the carbon dioxide that we're breathing out on a regular basis. And guys, how we can apply this is what is our perception? See, to the plant, what is a byproduct, what is a forgotten resource, what is a forgotten thing to most of nature is exactly what it uses to grow. And the greater the amount of something that most people forget about is what it needs to grow. The more it has, the more it grows. Well, guys, what is our perception of what it is that we're dealing with? When we have a situation take place in our jails, maybe there's a fight, maybe there's an overdose, maybe there's an escape. When we look at the things that go on in our facilities, that lots of times people would put that in the hindrance category. That's a negative. We don't want that. And I'm not saying you want an escape. I'm not saying you want an overdose. I'm not saying you want to fight. But what is there that can help us grow? I'm going to tell you something. You want to know if your facility is secure, if you want to know if your facility is the height of security is where it needs to be, you let there be an escape, or you let there be some kind of introduction of contraband through the secure fences or walls, and you'll find out real quick there's a lot of focus put on the structural integrity and the security of our facilities. That's a negative, but you know what? We took that and we used that as a positive to demonstrate to us, you know what? We weren't as sharp as we thought we were. We weren't as safe and secure as we thought we were. We've got to focus now and see where are our weak spots. I know that the jail that I was a part of, we had an inmate that climbed a wall of a rec yard and was able to escape that way. We never thought that there would be a way that an inmate could get up that wall, could scale that wall to get out. Well, guess what? He did. So in response to that, we installed a top over the rec yard so that in the future, that isn't happening. Well, that was a positive outcome. Yeah, an inmate escaped, but it was a positive outcome. How do we perceive it? Is it just a failure, and man, we're just a failure, and man, this is terrible? Or is it an opportunity to grow and learn? Fifth factor for a plant to grow, and that affects the rate of growth, is the internal workings of the plant to utilize the chlorophyll that is going to be a result of the sunlight that it receives. What are we going to illustrate that with? Well, in ourselves, are we prepared to grow? Is our passion? Is our attitude? Is our perception? Are we in a position where we're ready to grow? Are we in a position where we're ready to receive what it is that's going on around us? Are we looking as we work each day or each shift? Are we looking for lessons to come to us? Are we looking for lessons, things that we can pull out of the situations that are going on around us? Are we looking to interact with fellow officers or with supervisors or with administrators? Are we looking to interact with things online or resources? Are we prepared to grow? Are we looking for opportunities to grow? Sixth and final factor. For a plant to grow, and a factor that impacts the rate of growth in a plant is where it's planted and the amount of water that is available to that plant and the root system that it has, which provides the ability to tap into that water source. Where are our roots? What are we making a part of our lives that facilitate us being able to soak in the things that we need to be able to grow? You know, one of the things that is fascinating to me is when you have that toxic employee, when you have that individual that, you know, they have a bad attitude, they have no desire to succeed, they have no desire to improve, and they're just miserable. I mean, they're just the proverbial Eeyore walking around the facility. Everything's bad, everything's wrong, the administration stinks, they don't understand us, they won't give us the tools, the resources that we need, they won't give us the training that we need, and everything's everybody else's fault, and I'm just going to sit here and I'm just going to be miserable. Where's their root system? Their root system is in the negative. They are looking for and they're hunting the negative because that justifies in their mind. It justifies them just sitting here being miserable, doing nothing. Well, you know what? A person, as long as their root system is tapped into the negative, they're never going to produce anything but negativity. As long as they refuse to tap into resources and to grow and to sharpen their skills, they're never going to grow. Well, how about you? How about me? Where's our root system? Where are we planted? Are we tapping into resources that are available, or are we waiting on somebody to bring it to us? Are we waiting on somebody else to do the work for us? Are we waiting for it to just fall out of the sky on our heads and we be blessed with what we need? Guys, it's not the administration's job. It's not the supervision's job. It's not the agency's job. It's not my job to spoon feed people what they need. Yes, we can put those resources out there. We can make them available, but it is the responsibility of the individual. It's Aaron's responsibility. It's your responsibility to make sure that our roots are tapped into what we need to grow. So guys, as we continue in this series on sharpening your skills, like I said, we've got some awesome interviews, going to expose you to some experiences and some knowledge of some folks from around the country. And guys, let's make sure that our roots are tapped into what it is that where we need them to be so that you and I can grow. How's our passion? Do we want to be excellent? How's our attitude? Are we looking to succeed, or are we just looking and expecting everything to be to fail? What's our position? What's our physical position? What can we deal with? What can we do? What can we control? What can we not? What's our psychological position? Am I sharp? Am I strong? Am I prepared for what's coming? What's our perception of what's going on around us? Are we looking for everything to be wrong? Are we looking for everything to be a problem? Or do we realize that within every situation are resources that are available to us to grow? Are we prepared to grow? And then lastly, where are we putting our roots? Guys, if I come across a little passionate about this, I do not apologize at all for 1 second, because guys, this is my heart. This is my passion, is to provide people that I come in contact with the opportunity and the information to help them grow. But it comes down to it. Do we want to? Well, guys, I appreciate you being with us on this episode. I hope and trust that you're going to continue. And as I say, guys, we got awesome things in store, awesome things coming. But until we get to that, guys, stay sharp, stay safe, stay vigilant. Godspeed.